Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with the message for you. Happy Tuesday. It's December 16th, 2025. I believe today is officially the end of Mercury retrograde. If it's not the last day, I feel like we're officially out of, we've been out of, Mercury has been stationary, let me say that, but we have been in the post shadow for a couple of weeks now, and today is either the last day of that, and or no, it can only be or it's the first day out of the post shadow. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, you can wipe the sweat off your brow. You can take a deep breath. You can thank your heavenly stars. You can thank your ancestors, way showers, and guides for safe transition through this transit. Oh, yes, all of the above and then some, child, for real, for real. But anyway, I hope that it's been as good for you as it's been for me in all the most provocative ways. It's really been it was an interesting one. I mean, I'm saying down to the bitter end, to the damn near to the last day, for real, for real. But here we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, most supreme source of all, heavenly mother, father, God, universe, ancestors, way showers, guides, angelic hosts, everything that has breath and that doesn't. Thank you for all the ways that these energies have been in alignment with my progression and with the collective progression through by way of our passions. So, yeah, it is so and so. It is indeed. And with that being said, the word of the day, perhaps the decade, perhaps the lifetime, perhaps the new era is abundant. And this is where I shuffled last time I shuffled them. It wasn't today. I think it was a couple days ago, actually. But it still stands. It might be the word for the season, mess around with me, but these are my personal oracle cards. The first deck I produced. It will be available for purchase very, very soon. And abundant, as it is with all of the 78 cards, each one represents at least one of the original tarot cards, but it doesn't have to be contained to that, of course. But each card was an inspiration for one word that I felt more or less could sum up the energy. On the light side, we have abundant, and then just for point of reference here, and that's all, on the dark side, we have scarce. Vigilant. Oh, no, that was vitality. I was about to say another V word. Every time I pull my cards, vitality keeps coming up, like underneath, like a peekaboo message. But vigilant is definitely a strong word as well. Like, just, keep your eye open, your eyes peeled, and your head on a swivel as far as you need to, knowing that you got protection in places that are unseen, but as much as you need to govern your space, your energy, your force field accordingly, do so. And if it's nothing more than just being aware, vigilant, eyes open, that may be all that, the source is calling for at this time, depending on who you are. Take it how it resonates. But anyway, abundant is the word, is our leading word. The season of abundance, a new era of abundance, a new mindset, a spirit of abundance, a new lifestyle of abundance. To be abundant is actually an adjective. So this is a descriptive word, perhaps, of you know how we say Christmas come early, new year, new you come early. So some may be gearing up to receive, you may be in alignment of a reception of a big gift, whether that is many gifts that for that are that present abundance, or one big gift that keeps on giving in some way, maybe a windfall, maybe something unexpected for the holidays, maybe even a break. You know, sometimes abundance can come by way of a major discount or sale, or getting a bargain on something that you had at anticipation paying otherwise for. So it can come in all forms, but best believe I am not misguided in leading with this word, because I feel it in my bones. I feel it. I feel the presence of abundance already more or less grounding me. I'll share, it feels, I've been feeling an upsurge of excitement that could almost be mistaken for like nervousness or eagerness, maybe more eagerness than nervous, but there's like a vibration to what I'm feeling internally, where it's like, if you didn't know any better, you would be on edge for something, you know, unfortunate to occur, but it feels the very opposite of that. Like, you know the difference, actually. And, but even the high frequency of something almost like a Three of Wands type of energy, where something really amazing feels like it's on its way, on the horizon, maybe already at your doorstep. Maybe check your door for a package that you may not have realized is coming early, or something like that. Keep your eyes peeled for your packages, on a practical note. But it feels like something very Ace of Pentacles. As a matter of fact, I didn't even finish my statement. The Abundant card is actually the Ten of Pentacles in my deck. I never even said that. I went off on a tangent about the fact that each one is a tarot card, but I forgot to say that this one is the Ten of Pentacles. And I didn't actually realize that until I double checked it before pushing record just a few minutes before I started, because believe it or not, I created these cards so long ago that, they were a creation before they were produced a long time ago. I just produced them this year. And so I'm still having to remind myself, like, what did I assign that one to again? Or which one is it? Which tarot card is this? Because, like I said, it wasn't intentional for it to be confined to the cards, but more inspired by them, and almost take on a whole new life of their own. But 78 different lives that some of them on site, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. But some I still have to remind myself. And here it is, the Ten of Pentacles, which I almost forgot to say again. So there's something around that energy that could be, relevant in terms of what's coming through now, whether it's a gift or something that's being offered or proposed, that maybe it's something that you've always wanted, or you were looking out for, and you kind of like either forgot about it or just released it to be as it shall be, in divine time. And it's something about divine time is about is about right now, like sooner than you think, at least. And with that, I was receiving a lot of uploads about different things and other layers of this abundance that I could express, but something also kind of urged me to pipe down. And I felt like even that was the message, like, whatever it is that you are already anticipating, maybe already eager for, maybe forgot you asked for, maybe are anticipating coming on a certain day, but it may come early, anticipating it coming in a certain package or in a certain amount, and it exceeds your expectations. Whatever it is that this gift is in this season, maybe even again a Christmas come early, be discerning about how you share, what you share, and with whom you share. It certainly is a dispensation or a disbursement, a gift, whatever this is it is for the purposes of ultimately being a testimony, of the goodness of the divine in divine time, in alignment with your hard work and dedication to continue to alchemize the energies that you have had to work with in the 3D to with the intention of materializing your highest good, your most supreme self, the greatest good overall type of outcome. All of that swirled in the mix is going to be a lot to digest. It's going to be a lot to wrap your mind around. It's going to be perhaps a lot to manage in a physical sense, maybe in a spiritual sense, maybe psychologically, going from one place and experience, maybe literally, now that I'm saying that, to catapulting, almost skyrocketing what feels like overnight to something completely different, something perhaps that you've never really experienced except for in your wildest imagination, which of course could be part of that disregarding energy. You always limit it to just that, like, oh, that would be nice, if I had a fantasy of a abundant life, this is what it would be, but not always being so sure and secure that it was in the cards for you or it was written for you to actually receive and experience in real life, So all of those things, you have to kind of give yourself grace to ground yourself in before you start to put yourself in a position to feel before you start to feel a particular urge or obligation to expel this great energy, again, coming by way of this gift or upgrade or whatever opportunity, whatever it is, it feels big. But like I said, the point of me saying all this and me still feeling like I'm saying too much, like almost exemplifying the urgence to really almost bridle your tongue and temper yourself, but also censor yourself, because I can't seem to shut up, which which I swear was not intended. I was just supposed to share abundant as the word of the hour, the word of the day, and move on to the cards, and I still haven't been able to keep going as it stands. So there seems like a powerful alert, I would say, here to prepare to respond perhaps to this great dispensation of fortune, however it comes, in a way that may almost be counterintuitive in a sense to who you would be naturally, which again might be to share literally, verbally, physically, in every way, shape, and form. There's something about taking a pause for the cause, grounding yourself in all, creating the right security measures for yourself first and foremost, and then acting according to that sense of benevolence that almost is innate or natural to give way to. It gets to thrive. It gets to almost take on a life of its own, as a matter of fact, but some security measures need to be put in place first so that your eye and eyes are focused. Again, that what was that word about seeing something? Well, we're still in Sagittarius season, which makes total sense, but it's just really about having the right perspective and focus to not just like your nearsighted ambitions and advantages and privileges, but what gets to be reclaimed, sustained, for the unforeseeable future. In some ways, is that serious, is that intense, is that vast, is that girthy. I don't know why girthy. I don't want to say heavy because it's not heavy like a burden. It's like what would be the opposite? I mean, I guess the privilege, you know, is such. It's overwhelming. Overwhelming doesn't have greatest connotations either. Maybe fulfilling. Does that feel grand enough? Because I don't think anybody knows how it. Not many can testify. I'll say. And I won't say nobody knows, but not many can testify to what it means to be fulfilled. You know, literally like wanting nothing, lacking nothing, anxious for nothing, over ambitious for nothing. Like everything is just perfectly, every energy is just perfectly in its place. True temperance, you know, where there's just this beautiful balance across all frequencies of your functionality in life, where the family's good, you are passionate about what you do, you're secure in a material sense to not just pursue passions, but also be an attractive force for the alchemicalization of those passions, the alchemy of those passions. Relationship is good. Mental health is superb. Physical health is aligned. Like everything is just working for your good. You know, like there's nothing out of place. Can you just imagine with me for a second? Nothing is out of place. Nothing is out of turn. There's nothing that you're waiting on. There's nothing that you're feeling like you have to supplement or do without. It's like the total, the embodiment. I was going to say the total presence of fulfillment, but that doesn't feel personal enough. It's like the embodiment. Let's look up a word for fulfilled. The embodiment of fulfillment. Like walking, talking, incarnate fulfillment. Let's see. You know, let's see. Perfection, contentment. That still doesn't feel gratification. Cool, like I guess the embodiment of gratitude, maybe. It just feels like something here that there, of course. Oh, serenity. When I clicked on contentment, one of the synonyms is serenity. There it is with the temperance card, which I also did see in my pre-shuffling, is that it's like peace and tranquility incarnate. that's what some are ultimately transitioning into. An incarnation of peace, like a dove, like a seraphim, a cherubim, or whatever, you know. I don't know why those come to mind right now. It's just like something very earth angel-y about it. Yeah, with the temperance, as a matter of fact. I don't know. Something about that just feels like, and of course, contentment is comfort and happiness. That's the definition, the short definition is given. But the synonyms are definitely fulfillment, pleasure, serenity, ease, peace, gladness, equanimity. Did I say satisfaction? All right, I don't know, y'all. Part of me for that little, extended intro, because I didn't mean to veer off onto that path, but apparently there was something to be said about, I guess, perhaps more or less like preparing yourself, because whatever this is, you ain't never had it like this before. You have never felt so appreciated by the magnitude of this language, this particular language of love, which is the divine's gift giving. You've never felt this level of appreciation, like feeling so seen and so heard and so understood, all in one offering. I have a feeling it's going to be overwhelming in all the right ways, in terms of like the emotion that it evokes. Like, wow, God really does see me. God really has heard me all these years, all these decades, all these incarnations, all these lifetimes, all these eons, in every dimension. My prayers have been heard and my prayers have been answered. And here is the manifestation of those answered prayers. It's like you get to be like a walking trophy case, or maybe not, I don't know why that came out first, but a walking scroll of prophecies fulfilled, things that have been promised to you, to your ancestors, predecessors, those known and unknown, those that may have even been in intense pursuit to achieve or claim such gifts that may not have ultimately received the totality or the full, experience, as it was reserved for someone in your bloodline to do so. Someone. And by God, whew, I'm getting emotional. It seems as though that someone might be you. So how do you prepare yourself to receive the gift of the ages, is what I heard. The gift of life, eternal life. It's literally, that's what it is. That's why I can't find words. The fulfillment part, the contentment part, the peace, it's so much more. Lord have mercy. It's embodying the frequency of eternal life. Truly, truly. Because you know why? There's so many layers to that. Because if it's as clear cut and literal as we take it, meaning you never die, then my God, like what must that feel like to live in a vessel where, or be conscious enough in a lifetime? I don't know how it gets to be, but whether it's a vessel that doesn't perish or live in a consciousness where you know that if I go to sleep at this moment, I know I'm gonna wake back up or come alive again or regenerate or whatever. Like there being a certainty of that, that really eliminates the fear of death and mortality overall. Can you imagine a surge of energy that comes from that knowing being affirmed and confirmed for you in such a way where it becomes a force fuel for your vitality? I can't. That's no one, even having a near death experience doesn't compare to, it's like that but on steroids, because it's something, ugh, I can't even go there. I don't think I'm supposed to touch on that too much deeper. But if we like, simmer it down a bit in terms of eternal life, to it being like just the vitality again of this peacefulness that you are generating in your force field, ultimately alchemizing everything in your life into damn near pure gold, or transmuting, everything in your auric field into something precious. Imagine how that regeneration of vitality again not only gets to continue to supercharge your force field and your propensity to create better, more, greater, and then how that ultimately is an impression, makes an impression on the things that you are creating, till again they get to take on a life of their own, people, places, and things, and especially on your direct offspring, maybe even your children. Imagine the legacy, that level of generational wealth that gets to be passed down over and over and over again, with again the eternal aspect is no void in sight. For as long as the existence of a bloodline thrives, and anything connected to it at this point, because this is just how malignant, let's say, well, malignant is a terrible word to use, but like contagious, yeah, something can be. But let's just keep it specific to someone's actual bloodline, that you keep passing down the spirit of serenity, tranquility, and no matter what the outside world or dimension is displaying, is so innate to the DNA that it just keeps producing itself even stronger and stronger with each generation. That in itself is like a mind-blowing gift, to be a recipient, to be so privileged, like a descendant of such a magnificent inheritance, a beneficiary, I suppose I should say. So it feels like this could be something that can touch on many different layers again of abundance in that way, where, as I said, it's like no stone is left unturned. There's just a continuance of overflow. I definitely saw the Ace of Cups for sure. A continuance of an overflow that seems to just never end. It never ends within the individual. It never ceases to make impressions on whomever and however, wherever it encounters. It doesn't seem to die. It not only does it regenerate, but it thrives and evolves with each incarnation or creation or procreation, whatever it is. It's amazing. It's amazing what I'm feeling right now. It's amazing. It feels like too good to be true. It feels like something where it's like, damn, you almost don't want to hype yourself up. It's like you don't want to dumb your expectations or your excitement down almost for fear of appearing or projecting a certain resistance or even a disbelief or doubt about what you are ultimately probably just calling into yourself when you strip it down to the bare bones. It's like you almost want to like second guess yourself or challenge yourself, like you thinking too big, bitch. Like you need to be more practical. You need to be more realistic. Like you would want to say that to yourself in a different mind, but your heart won't let you do it. It's like, nah, God forbid you call that into your existence when you could have been thinking bigger and had the full experience. Now is not the time to be copping out and settling for fear of being disappointed or proven wrong, or even that feeling of like, rejection. If something, like none of that. It's time to really open your heart in a way that really it like completely, how can I say it, like it completely banishes doubt. Yeah. And I can't even tell you if there is a singular way to do that, or if there even is an absolute way to do that. But I can also say that part of that abundant mindset is to be graceful with the challenge, graceful with yourself within that challenge, because it's not something that anybody should necessarily have in the bag with no proof. The fact that there is an ambition to maintain that frequency in the first place is evolution. It is. So if you can sustain that position, the grace of the divine, I feel, is sufficient to supplement the rest, because it wouldn't even be expected for you to be so sure about what your senses are telling you that you can somehow completely block out any objections from even surfacing. That part is natural. What you get to do is to turn up the volume on those personal affirmations, the words and the wisdom that tells you, yeah, it is too good to be true. No, it's not that. It is. I don't even know. I don't know if I even have words yet, as I'm telling you, to find the word that would counteract that opposition. Because no, it's not too good to be true, as a matter of fact, and we wouldn't necessarily want to make agreement with that. It's good because it is true. Like, maybe it's too good to not be true, or it's too true to not be good, or something along those lines, where there's something that needs to be inverted in the mind. It's absolutely, it's authentically and purely good, and it's undoubtedly true at the same damn time. We're talking about total tranquility, serenity, peace, nirvana. Heaven. As humanity was always destined to embody it. I was going to say experience it, but what's more, actually embody it. Wholeness, holiness. I'm just stripping it down, but stripping it up too, if that makes sense. Because every time I hit a word, it's like, that's not enough. It feels bigger than that. It feels deeper than that, you know? And I suppose it just really is one of those unique occurrences in creation where there really is no one specific or objective way to describe it, or maybe exclusive way to describe it, that might not give way to other words or other ideals or other feelings. It'll just have it'll have a life of its own to whomever is integrated with it. And maybe it'll feel familiar across the board, such in a way that peace feels sufficient, as a descriptor. However, it'll be inflections that are so unique, again, so eccentric, I suppose, that it'll be undeniable on sight what the expression is, even if it comes packaged differently. So it's like everybody getting the same gift, more or less, but when it's the same disbursement or dispensation or something like that, but how it shows up in your life is as if it's an infinite number, of package of wrapping, of packaging, or maybe the outside presentation and the inside, whatever that means. But something about it is going to, like, it's like, it's not like the fruitcake that gets passed around where it's like, oh, okay, thank you, that's really nice. It's like, it's all the same thing, more or less. However, when you get what you get on your doorstep or at your heart's threshold, however this is being delivered, and what I get, it's no mistaking that it was like meticulously picked out, maybe even handcrafted, handpicked by the divine. Same thing, more or less, inside the makeup of it. But yours is somehow different than mine. I don't even know if I'm saying that in a way, like it feels deeper than what I'm saying. But yet I feel like I'm saying it over and over again. So I don't know how much deeper I can continue to repeat, but I feel like ultimately, now and later, what's understood just doesn't need to be explained. And that honestly could be the closing message, more or less, like, because I'm not sure I'm really going to pull too much cards. I don't know if maybe this time was for that today. There's no pressure to make concessions, excuses, or provision for others' understandings or misunderstandings, even for their curiosity or fascination. Those that are in alignment to understand, or to relate to where you are in this season of abundance, will do so effortlessly, easily. And those that aren't will show themselves evidently. And all that, is required of anyone in responsibility of their own abundance is just to maintain integrity, the truth of, an allegiance to the truth that you feel resonates deeply within you as to what to do and what not to do with yourself, with your time, with your energy, and everything else attached to it. Yeah, there was something else that I felt to say too. Oh, because I said it doesn't have to be explained. Yeah, yeah. You don't have to answer to anyone, but your supreme self and source, however that aligns for you. And that is the integrity piece, by the way. When you're doing what feels right in your heart and your soul and your gut and your spirit, listening to your body, your mind chiming in, like all of those things on one accord, like what is the revelation, what revelation is being highlighted. As long as you're in alignment with that truth, nothing can be held against you otherwise. That's the only responsibility that you truly have to yourself or to anyone else. So I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it's something major. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to post this. The Emperor is here. I'll be, oh my gosh, and the Ten of Pentacles again. You can't be for real. You can't be for real. Like, this is executor of estate frequency here. The Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. You're about to be handed the control, the influence, the keys, the key codes, the passcodes, the account numbers, the something, the intel, the information, the what else? The marching orders I just heard, the deed, the I don't know where I'm hearing manifesto, the business plan or production plan, the 10-year outlook, I don't know. I'm trying to make it practical, but it's like there's a big promotion here. There's a huge promotion here on the table for an elevated position, of creativity, of authority, and it could be over an establishment, over a corporation, a business, could be over a kingdom, it could be over your own, estate, becoming the patriarchal energy of your legacy or your lineage, maybe even the chosen beneficiary of your ancestors, way showers, again, your guides. This could be spiritually or physically, but you've been chosen. And not just chosen, but what's the right word? Like when you've been appointed, dare I even say anointed, to sit in a certain position of power and influence and to govern a great deal of wealth. Let's just call it what it is. A great deal of wealth. Like filthy, stinking, rich vibes in every way, shape, and form. For me to go through all of this channeling to come down to the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles, that's as plain of a confirmation as one could honestly get, and practical too. Like not even pulling strings with it, like just plain and simple executor of estate. Ruler of a kingdom, dominion over a fortune, and in perpetuity, which is what? Eternal. Oh my goodness. And this is the generational wealth again, another confirmation and affirmation of how it gets to be passed down, passed on, as many times as it can be. Again, eternally. So, happy eternal abundance to you in all that you do. This was a little bit strange, but I'm not going to try to push the issue. It is what it is, and this is how the message is coming today. I don't see how you wouldn't want this to be your message if it's speaking to you. Why in the world would you reject it? Unless there's something in you that still feels unworthy. And that part, I pray, no matter who you are, is healed and made whole, really and truly. Because if you are in alignment for such a good fortune, a great fortune, why would you want to push yourself away from that intentionally, knowingly, by making scarce decisions and choices? No. Abundant is who you are. It's what you are. It's what you do. And it's what you have. It is so, and so it is. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.